Hello everyone, and welcome to New England Disc Golf Productions coverage of the 2021 Clement Classic at Clement Farm in Haverhill, Massachusetts. I'm your host, Kelly Jenkins, and I'm alongside Kim Kissel.
Hey everyone, huge thank you to Frankie Sullivan, the tournament director for today's event, along with TJ Gazenberg, the assistant tournament director. Also a huge shout out to all the volunteers at Clement, including Andrew Francesca, JD Dickinson, and the rest of the Clement crew. Also, huge thank you to the Granite State Tour, making this one of the many stops on their tour series, and Disc Golf 978 for making this coverage happen and making it possible.
We're excited to be here today with you all. Beautiful weather for this tournament. Lovely weather for it. Seems like it's been raining quite a bit lately up here, so to get a chance at this was everything.
If only we knew it was going to be so rainy in the weeks later, we would have enjoyed this a lot more at the time.
So we're now taking a look at our four competitors. This is Alex Benson. Alex is sponsored by 978 Disc Golf, Smuggler's Notch Disc Golf Center, and Bolton Valley Resort. Erica Johnson is sponsored by Innova Disc Golf, and she is partnered with Destination Athlete. Cassandra Leoy is a Prodigy Disc Golf sponsored player and is also sponsored with Just Throw Discs. And lo and behold, there's Kim on the card. Congratulations, Kim. Kim is the host of the Ladies of Borderland Disc Golf Monthly Meetup, and she has been doing wonderful getting ladies to come out.
Aw, thanks, Kelly. Of note, Alex, Erica, and Cassie are all the highest rated players in their states, and I'm just kind of along for the ride on this one, and I'm so happy and so honored to be playing with three really strong New England females.
Okay, so we're going to start off right on hole one. Hole one is a par 4, 519-foot throw. It is the 14th most difficult hole on the course. You want to be able to land on the rise, and as you're approaching the shot on your second throw, you can actually go through the trees on the right or the left, but the main thing is to land in the middle. Alex is up first, and Alex is going to be throwing a shrike off the tee.
You can see the wind blowing in the leaves there, and it looked like it turned her disc over maybe a little bit more than she was hoping for, but she'll have an easy flick up shot from that spot.
Erica is throwing her champion eagle to start this round. This is the second round of the day. The first round has already been played.
She's letting it air out, fading off to the left, and she'll have an easy up shot to the basket from there.
Now Cassie, while she's lining up, she's throwing a D2, and it's kind of one of her go-to discs. She'll be throwing this quite a bit today. Nice turnover. Got a little bit of an air bounce on it and got over the ridge I was talking about. What are you throwing there, Kim?
I've got a trespass that is pretty old. I think it used to be my husband's, and it was lost in the water at Maple for a while, so it's a little bit more beat up, and my aim is just to leave it out to the right, let it fade back, given all the wind there, and kind of land right on that hillside that you're talking about.
That's perfect. You did exactly what you wanted. Anytime you see Alex throw an upshot that's a sidearm, it's probably going to be her Firebird. She goes with this disc quite often on her approaches.
Got a little hung up in the tree line there. There's actually a casual creek that would be great to get across on the second shot, and she's just before that. But an easy 4.
Cassie's throwing a nice little turnover with her F5. She's got up there in circle 1. Well done.
Here I am. I'm throwing my Saint, just trying to get it straight to a little bit of a curve, trying to punch that tree line on the right. Or on the left. No, it was the right. Getting my right and left mixed up.
Like I was saying, you can punch through right there, and you've got yourself circle's edge, maybe a little bit outside the circle.
Yeah, I think it was just kind of the outer edge of the circle there, and I was really happy with where that landed.
Looks like Erica has decided that she's going to throw her rock 3 with a nice smooth turnover.
Gorgeous upshot.
Whenever you see Alex flicking something like this from inside this range, that's her zone.
And she's up there with the easy tap in for 4.
Pressure putt right here, Kim, to start the tournament. Long putt. If it goes in, that's a great way to start your round. If it misses, it kind of shrinks the basket. Ooh, the basket's going to look big for you today,
Yeah,
lady. Well
I was
done.
really excited to kind of hit that putt, get a birdie. I think it's the first time I've birdied this hole ever. And so I was really excited to kind of, with the pressure being filmed, with the people I was playing with, nail that putt to start.
Nice. Erica is putting with her P1X. Did you say that you putted with an EMAC Judge?
Yes.
Okay.
Recently switched to the EMAC judges, and I'm digging them for putts.
And Cassie, she puts with a PA3. A little bit of jitters off to the right.
It's all right. She's right there for 4, and 4 is not bad on this hole, even though it is one of the easier holes for us. It still feels good to get the par.
It is a par 4 also. Okay, folks, we have started our tournament, and we are through hole 1.
Hole number 2 is the 4th hardest hole. It's one of the holes where the basket's been pushed back in the past year and added a second basket. We'll be playing to all the orange baskets today. Starts off with a straight shot, ends to the left, and the new basket location is tucked off on the right there in the trees with a little bit of a slopey green, so it makes it for a tricky approach shot.
Definitely. Erica's coming out with her Champion Eagle. Now, there is an alleyway on the inside left there that people do try to push through. I don't think she meant to quite bring it in that tight, though.
So first round was my first time playing with the baskets pushed back, and I actually threw a mid-range thinking I could get there without realizing it had been pushed back. So I decided to disc up to my St. Pro, and I was able to get right in the middle of the fairway and have a pretty open upshot, which I was pleased with.
Alex is throwing her PD too. Old Orangey, she calls it.
That's great.
You got to have nicknames for some of your
You
discs.
have to.
She also got caught off onto the left side a little bit. We'll have to see. Now, a couple of things with this one. Cassie is throwing her, it looks like her X3. She's got quite a bit of lift on hers. Hers was up higher than yours, and I think what'll happen is she'll be able to skip.
Yeah, she got the height on that was fantastic. She was able to skip. She's got herself a tricky putt, but definitely a look at birdie from there.
Looks like Erica has a little bit of work to do. Nice soft turnover shot coming in at circle's edge.
Great execution there. All right, here I am. I'm throwing a judge, trying to get a little bit of an ante.
And you succeeded.
Praying that it sits because it does slope back there, and I was very thankful that the earth kind of caught that and gave me the easy 3 look.
It is a fast screen.
So fast.
Alex stepping up into her putt, putting it right under the basket for an easy tap in.
And here we're looking at Cass's birdie putt.
With PA3 sinks it.
She nailed it. And here's the rewind to see it from a different angle. And you can see the slope of the green. Catches the chain, sits in the basket. Great putt, Cass.
That was the only birdie of the entire tournament on hole 2 for our crew.
I'm not
Well
surprised. With the new basket location, birdies are a lot harder to come by.
Nice putt right there with that downhill slope.
Great 3 save from Erica.
Going through your routine.
Yeah, I've been working really hard on slowing down my putts, and I think, again, given the crew I was playing with, being filmed, I was really mindful to slow that down even more, and I think, for the most part, it paid off. And something to definitely keep in mind for, novice players, advanced players, slowing down can be so helpful.
It can indeed. So hole 3 is a slight uphill hole, 270 feet. Numerous ways you can get to this hole. It is the 9th most difficult hole on the course. It played almost at an even par, just a little bit over. Cassie's on the tee first. She's throwing her D2.
Fades out a little bit to the left, but avoids the trees, and she's maybe not quite pin high, but she's got an easy look at the basket.
Erica's throwing an Archon.
There it is. And she's got that beautiful turn, sneaking around the trees, skipping up a little bit, and she's got a putt for birdie.
It's like just outside the circle.
All right, here I am. I'm throwing a Sapphire, which is a relatively new driver in my bag, but it, flies really straight. You can get good flex on it. Like I was trying to get here, but I unfortunately got caught up in some of the stuff on the ground, but still got an easy look at the basket for 3.
Alex is throwing her strike again, I do believe.
Flattened up, hyzered out, and she, similar to Cassie, maybe not quite pin high, but up on the left with a look at the basket.
I think got a little bit of an obstacle here, Kim.
A little bit with the tree. Kind of, not really a bid, but I knew with the sloped green, I had a back stop, so I could give it kind of a run. And so I opted for that. Ooh, Cass with a good
sure
2 bid. Had good height, just a little off, but she'll easy 3 from there.
You won't see that too many times from Erica. You know, Alex, I just met her this year. She's kind of new to the scene of disc golf, it almost feels like, and she's just stormed it, and she's taking over all over this area. Maybe I'm incorrect. Good birdie on her part.
This year was the first year I've met Alex as well, and I don't know if it's just because she's getting down to Massachusetts more and kind of exploring outside Vermont, but either way, she's wonderful human and great card mate and a fantastic golfer. And so it was really cool to be able to watch her play and see how she goes through her routine and thinks through her shots.
And there we go. We got 1 birdie and 3 pars on this hole.
All right, and here we are, hole 4, downhill par 3, 290 feet. Kind of straight, finishes a little to the right. You want to have something that that holds that line, fades out, and comes back. Some rough on the left and right, but if you can get down far enough, that stuff doesn't usually come into play too much.
I feel like most people are going to throw a mid-range on this or a putter. It looks like that Alex, though, has chosen her destroyer on a flick. Got a little bit of good skip, sitting out at circle 2, no problem.
Open putt from there.
Now Cassie is throwing her M3.
Turns over, but great kick off the tree. Kind of sails down, slows it down a bit. Finishes just off to the left where she'll have an open long 2 look.
That could have been disaster.
Could have been awful. You guys can see the green on that right side is really, really tight. And so there was a great tree kick from her.
And Erica's throwing a super stiff P1X right here. Just a putter to get it down the middle of the fairway, which is something I'm going to have to try next time. I was using a fairway driver. I'm going to go with the mid-range next time.
Yeah, that's mid-range. I like that play here, just especially with the downhill, something kind of stable to understable. I threw a worship there, a little too straight. It hyzered out to the left, but like so many of my comrades, I'll have an open look at the basket for a long 2.
Cassie with her P83. A little bit of a roll, but that's a pretty simple drop in.
Absolutely. Here I am with a long 2 look.
I like that you're making sure you have gentle, easy putts to start the round. You're not blowing by it, because you could easily go 30 feet past this hole if you were aggressive.
Absolutely, and so that was kind of like a half layup, half bid. Alex gives it a full send, a little long. You can see she's frustrated by that, but she's got herself a 3 putt nonetheless.
Let's see if Erica can hit this putt after missing the last holes. Still off to the right a little bit.
A little wide, but again, the greens here can be so tricky, and you can sail right past the basket. So
nice par save with Alex. There should be some routine tap-ins right here.
Yeah, we'll all kind of clean up, get out of here, and get on to hole number 5 in just a couple of minutes.
There you go, Erica. There was quite a few people at the tournament. It sold out almost instantly. That's what's happening up here. I'm imagining it's happening all over the country right now. A tournament goes online and then it's sold out instantly. Hole 5 is a dogleg to the right. It's an uphill shot at the end of it. You're kind of throwing downhill to begin with. Ignore the blue basket because you're going to make this dogleg turn right here. And the basket is kind of sitting right on the edge of a slope. So if you short putt and hit the basket, you're liable to roll backwards.
Absolutely. It's certainly a tricky hole, especially if you're a right hand backhand predominant player, having a good flick like this from Alex, getting around that corner, up the hill, nestled right in there.
Nicely done.
Fantastic shot.
Now Cassie this time is throwing an F5, and she's going to have to really work the turnout. Look how wide she swung that to get around that dog leg.
It was another gorgeous shot. They're making this hole look easy. This hole was not my friend.
This is
this tournament.
This is a rock 3 from Erica. Might be a little bit soon.
A little early.
Oh, that was another good kick to bring it out to towards the fairway.
Yeah, she'll have an okay upshot from there. She'll have a window.
So you're trying to turn over a Saint here? Is that
trying to? I threw Maverick the first round. It turned over too much. So in my mind, I was like, I want to leave it straight. Still tried to turn it, even though I probably shouldn't have. Got caught up a little early, but still have an upshot. Still have a decent upshot that did not go as planned. So I'm a little further off than I'd like to be, but
it happens.
It happens.
Nice upshot from Erica.
She's got such a smooth form and smooth release. It's really cool to see in
Alex
person.
is going to have to make sure she gets up high enough on this putt. Yes.
Oh,
beautiful.
Nailed it. Oh, good. A replay. Because the steepness of this putt.
Yeah, she had to be aiming 2-3 feet over top of the basket to get it to drop down. It's so high.
Absolutely. And that's one of those where, like you mentioned earlier, Kelly, if you hit metal and get the disc on the right angle, that can roll all the way back down that hill. No,
Let's see if Cassie got big putted or not.
Yeah, she's got a similar look at the basket.
She was not big putted. Well done, Cassie.
Great hole for those ladies. They, made the drives look easy, made the putts look easy. Unlike me here.
Were you thinking about going past and heading down the hill, and that's why you came up a little low, do you think? Because that is a steep slope that you were putting towards.
I think I was trying to think that in my mind. I was like, oh, it's still flat. It's still okay. But I think, just a little short-armed, a little hunched over in my form. But here we are. All right, hole number 6, downhill, par 3, 232. Got a couple different options here. You'll see folks do kind of a flex forehand down one gap. You'll see a backhand putter approach. You got a lot of trees behind the basket to the right, and so hitting the line here is so important.
I'm thinking that this is a Star Leopard 3 from Alex. I reached out to her. She's touring the country right now, so it's kind of hard to get to her through emails. And she hung it off to the left. Actually, she's over there. That was me in the background.
Hey, Kelly.
So Cassie is throwing her D1. It does my heart good to see people throw overhands.
Get it, girl.
Nice safe throw in the middle.
Perfect.
Now, Erica, if I'm going to guess, is throwing a Mako 3 right here. But it might also be her P1X, too. I'm now thinking it's her P1X as I saw that flight right there. And she went way past the basket, and she is down in some trouble area.
Yeah, turned over a little bit on her. Here I am. I'm throwing a shield that also turned over on me a bit, but got a fortunate tree kick back out onto the fairway to give me an upshot.
There was a headwind all day on this hole. I could not get a disc to fly straight. Every single shot, I threw 2 different discs and both of them turned over. You got a little bit of obstacles in front of you, a little bit of small stuff.
A little of that. Hit the one tree I was trying not to hit. Leaving
I
myself
usually
a little bit of a tester.
Nice. Well, you've hit so many of them today, you're like, why not?
Here's
Look at it.
Great upshot for Alex. She ended up being pin high over there and fought through some of those trees to get up and
Erica's
down.
having to get into an awkward stance to just get out of there.
She got herself up there too.
Ooh, tester again. You've had several testers early in this round, Kim.
Yeah.
But no problem.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. My putts felt on. They felt great. I'm trying to do this thing where if it's downhill, I switch to a straddle. I feel like I get a little bit more balance with that, and that seemed, so far so good, paying off aside from hole 5, and so, riding that momentum.
Yeah, putting is everything.
We got everyone else tapping in their pars as we wrap up the 14th hardest hole in the course.
Hole 7, an uphill dogleg to the left. Most people make the mistake of thinking they need to cut too soon on this hole and they get caught down in the left side. Actually, the correct throw is to push it all the way back as far as you can to the back of the fairway and then let your disc fade in. Let's see what Alex is going to do here. Alex is throwing her Shrike.
And Kelly, she does literally exactly what you explained perfectly. Leaves it out straight, trusts the disc to fade back left, leaves it out as long as she can, giving herself an open look at the basket.
It's so hard to think that that's the shot you're supposed to do. Everybody wants to pull it to the left and cut that corner.
And Cassie just copy-paste does the same exact thing Alex does. Skips up.
She just crushed that D2. Absolutely crushed it. Here, Erica is throwing her Destroyer. And I think she was trying to cheat a little bit and get that inside corner. Or she might have just early released it.
Either or, but stuck on the left there is not a great spot to be.
Is this your Sapphire?
This is my Sapphire.
You tried to turn it over. I could see where you tried it.
A little bit of an early release. Not exactly where I was hoping it would be, but...
And once you're down in here, you're getting a 4. Unless you throw one in from 45 feet. You're not getting any closer than 45, 50 feet from there.
And this hole was the hardest hole for our group. And so sometimes, getting a 4 on it doesn't feel so bad, especially if your drive's not great. And so right here, I'm just looking to pitch out, have an open look, and save that 4 and kind of move on.
Yeah. I struggled on this hole. That's Alex's own. I was injured during this tournament, and I wasn't able to throw any turnover shots. And being a left-handed person, that becomes difficult on this course.
Yeah, so what'd you end up doing on this one, Kelly?
On this one, I just ended up throwing straight with my lightweight serve. I think I threw my Tesla. And then my next shot, I went make 03 putter. I just accepted I was going to get a 4 because I couldn't throw a turnover shot. Nice up shot.
Thank you.
You just want to get away. Once you know you're going to get a 4, you don't want to make it worse.
Exactly.
Get in there, disc.
Oh, that was to save her par, just a little short. Let's cast with her par putt. Again, these two girls making this hole look so easy.
They did. You still went through a little routine. I like that.
Yeah. Here we are, just cleaning up our bogeys and putting this hole behind us and moving on to hole number 8. Hole number 8 is another par 4, 444 feet. More divided up into almost 2 fairways. You got this 2 straight shots. It's almost in the shape of a 7. So you want to throw the disc, land right where those 2 fairways connect, and then have another straight open shot to the basket.
Now on this hole, you can pinch a little bit early on the left side and get through. So it's a little bit different than on hole 7, where if you went left, you were in trouble. Here, if you go in a little early, you might get out of it okay unscathed. That blue Shrike again from Alex.
And she crushed that. Got right around the corner.
Anytime the camera person turns around to follow a disc, you know the thrower is happy.
Yes.
Cassie, she's been throwing her, I think this is her D2 again. It is. It looks like the wind got it, didn't it?
Yeah, it looked like it turned over a little bit. She got a tree kick, hit back into that corner, but like Kelly was saying, there's some open gaps in there, so you can certainly get up and down without a whole lot of difficulty in there.
Here comes Erica's Archon right at us. She got through it pretty good. Is this your Sapphire again?
It's my Sapphire again. I threw it a lot on the holes here. Little earlier release than I wanted, but
did it get through?
It gets through enough.
That's all you can hope for. I took a 6 on this hole, battling it because of I decided to hit the first available 2 or 3 times in a row because why not?
Classic. You know, sometimes playing the most disc golf is great. We got Cass's upshot.
That was not bad from where she was at.
Not at all, and gives herself a long birdie look.
Curious to see how you're going to work this corner here.
Yeah, I left it a little low. I was actually aiming at that tree, hoping it would hyzer out, but didn't give it enough height to do that. But I'll happy with a 4 on this one. I will take that.
Erica put a little bit behind that one. Looks like she's right at circle's edge, possibly.
Yeah, that grass is just so grabby. You're not going to get the skips or any favorable bounces off of it.
I think Alex was going for an eagle here. Why not?
Might as well, and she's at the pin for an easy birdie tap.
Amazing drive.
Amazing drive.
Nice little up shot from Cassie.
Yeah. Little half bid, half lay up, just wanting to get there without it scooting away too far to still get that par.
Nicely done. Good birdie right there, Erica. Nicely done yourself.
Thank you. And the rest of us will tap in our birdie or par putts. And then move on to hole number 9 in just a couple minutes.
Hole number 9 is the most difficult hole on the course. It actually starts off, you have to throw across a ravine, and then there's a very specific landing zone right where the drone just flew if you want to have an easy approach, because the basket itself is on a downhill slope and it's an elevated basket that's protected by the 4 guardian trees you see there.
And we're getting into a series of one of, I think, 3 or 4 holes where they've pushed the pin back on them, making it in the pasture, just making it all a little bit more tricky.
I'm thinking this might be her Star Leopard 3. I apologize, Alex, if I've got it incorrect. I know you're on tour, so I'm just hoping that I've got it correct. Nicely done, whatever it was.
It was a beautifully shaped shot, landing right in that landing zone.
An old beat-up Pro Destroyer from Erica that didn't really fly like an old beat-up Pro Destroyer. It kind of held stable and turned into a whale.
Such a tough break there.
Cassie with her D2.
Look at that flex through the trees with a skip. Good ground action right in the middle of the fairway, giving herself an easy up and down.
Exactly where you want to be. Is this your St. Pro?
It is not. It's my destiny. I threw, first round, I think I threw my Renegade. Kind of ended up where there's a blue basket. Hadn't thrown this all day, so figured why not. And it worked out really well. Got a good shape through the trees. Landed right in the fairway to give myself hopefully an easy enough up and down.
Erica's trying to work her mid-range around the corner. It's just so hard if you're throwing over that hill to know where to aim at. And you got to push it so much further than you think.
Right.
That looks like it's going to skip right under the basket.
It was my shield, so a little bit of a glidier putter upshot, nestled right in there.
She can't be thinking about going for this. No, good.
Yeah, little kind of jump up shot.
I mean, even though she is increasing her lead on everybody, it's still not a good idea to go for that one. Now, the rest of you, are you thinking about trying to catch her at all at this point? Or are you just playing your own game? Or are you trying to play against anybody else at all?
I'm playing against myself at this point. I mean, I'm 4th. I'm, as you can see from the score, not necessarily anywhere near anyone else in my card. And I'm just saying, okay, let me play the best disc golf I can to be somewhat competitive with these ladies and try to keep pace and see what happens. I'm not, I know I've got some women on the card behind me. Oh, tough putt from Erica.
That was robbery right there.
Oh.
Like, very easily could have gone in. Nicely done, Alex. She's just strolling along, par, 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 birdie here and there, par, par, par.
Yeah, she's putting a clinic on out there.
It's a pretty good formula to win, isn't it?
Absolutely. Cass with her tap in par.
Nicely done with the par on that one. I did not get this hole either round. I got a bogey both times.
And Erica taps in her double bogey to wrap up the front 9 of the 2021 Clement Classic.
And there you have it, folks. Alex with a -5. Michelle is moving up the scoreboard. I'm down there in 7th place holding on as well.
Disc Golf 978 is a fully stocked, one-stop shop for all your disc golf needs. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned pro, Disc Golf 978 has what you need to improve your game. We have all major brands, a helpful and knowledgeable staff, convenient hours, and a customer rewards program. Disc Golf 978 is located within 30 minutes of 9 courses in Central Mass. Find us at 16 John Fitch Highway in Fitchburg, Mass, or on the web at discgolf978.com.
Hole number 10, par 3, 465-foot downhill hole. Lots of trees on either side of the fairway. Good amount of trees in the middle of the fairway, trees behind the green. We're right smack dab in the middle of the toughest third of the course, and so every stroke counts.
This is the second most difficult hole on the course. Alex has chosen her Essence.
I would have loved to have a camera on that tree to see how close she was to actually hitting it, because it flexed up perfectly before it hyzered on the side.
You can see the wind starting to pick up now. I'm assuming that that's affecting your all's disc selection.
Oh, absolutely, especially after seeing this throw from Cass. Cass's disc flipped right over, turned into a roller, and magically got back out to the middle of the fairway.
So that's the line for this hole.
Yes, local route for sure. And so seeing Cass's throw, I decided to stable up, pull out the trespass.
No, and it looks like it's going to trespass right into the woods where it's not supposed to be.
Yeah, it was not a good shot.
Got a little bit of a kick out at least.
A little bit of a kick, which I was out, given that throw, I was fine with.
Erica's bringing out what I think is a destroyer. It certainly is holding the line like it might be a destroyer.
Yeah.
She got a little bit out. I can see a couple of discs up in there together.
Yeah.
Tough approach shot you have right here. I'm assuming you're just throwing a big hyzer and hoping
Yup.
for the best.
I grabbed my convict, threw it on a hyzer, let it skip up, and have a long 3, maybe take a 4, kind of be okay with it and move on.
Erica's trying to do magic, it looks like. I want to turn over out of the woods. Well, they're near you, it looks like.
Yeah, she's right near me. She's got a long 3 look from there.
She is not. Alex is not throwing to the blue basket. I imagine that's in her line of sight, though, and she's having to figure out a way around it. Looks like she's throwing old orangey. She threw that way down yonder in the pawpaw patch.
And she's got a tough out from there.
There's woolly boogers down there or something like that. I'm sure of it.
Fun fact, you can see me and Erica talking there. She was saying that Alex has not bogeyed at all this tournament going into this hole. And she was just saying if she makes that putt, she'll stay bogey free.
Ooh, good bid.
Oh, that was a great bid.
If she makes this putt, she deserves to be bogey free. Look at this, where she's at right now. All kinds of stuff in her way.
Oh,
Still got it there. What a decent bid from the pawpaw patch.
given how closed off she was, that was a great run.
Woo, you made sure you got that one there, lady. Well done.
Cass here going for par. Ugh, tough sped out. 2 holes in a row where these chains were not friendly for our lead card.
Were you a little bit nervous after seeing her spit out?
I think just given all of our kind of putting woes on this one, we're all putting in for bogey right now. You know, wanting to make sure, okay, settle down, move on to the next hole and leave this one behind.
Yeah, Cassie's errant drive was actually the best drive of the bunch.
Absolutely. It's amazing how that stuff turns out. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
It is. Okay, so we finally weathered part of the gauntlet. We're on hole number 11 now. It's a par 3, 274-foot slight uphill shot. You have two paths that you can choose. You can go down the left side here, just to the left of where the drone is flying, or there's a right side entrance. Main thing you do not want to do is fade off too early to the left, or you're in trouble. Alex is throwing orangey, also known as a PD2.
She gets a little bit of a flex and a tree kick to be right in the fairway.
I want to give a shout out to Dan and Mark, who are doing the camera work. You can see Dan in the background, right behind Alex, or right behind Cassie, doing the little dance after that great drive. It took the dance to get around the trees, I'm sure of it.
Absolutely, and that was a phenomenal drive given how tight this fairway is.
So you're throwing a sapphire?
I'm throwing the sapphire. Didn't get enough on it. Fades out a little bit too early.
And there's that gel that we were talking about. Looks like Erica's throwing a star leopard here.
Similar to my shot, didn't get quite enough turn on it. Finishes it off to the left.
At that point, you're just hoping that there's some sort of window that you can see the basket from.
Yes, and as you can see, Erica's got a little bit of a window here that she can hopefully get up and down for an easy 3.
Parked.
Perfect.
So you saw the line. Now you should be able to just come through. You had a little bit of a stymied throw, though. You had that watch your wrist on the follow through.
Yeah, it was a little bit shorter than I was hoping for, but at least giving myself a par look.
Ooh, good bid, Alex.
Pretty similar to her putt on hole 5, where she had the uphill long look.
Yeah, Cassie, nicely done.
Able to convert for the rare birdie on this one with that awesome drive that she had. All smiles as she gets her disc out of the basket.
Yeah, hole 12 was the 12th hardest. I mean, hole 11 was the 12th hardest hole on the course. With you focusing again. Good recovery. It's tight down there where you were having to do your approach from.
Yeah. Moments like that, I'm glad that there aren't pictures on a scorecard. You can just say I got the 3, say it was picture perfect.
There was a line drive in the scorebook.
Yes. Too bad it's on film for the rest of time. We got hole number 12, another par 4, 425 feet. This is pretty similar, but almost a mirror image of hole 8, where it's a straight shot and then finishes long to the right. This is another hole where the basket's been pushed back to make it that much more difficult. Guarded green with lots of guardian trees, rough on the left and right. Just a really tricky hole overall.
The landing zone is so important on this hole. Cassie is throwing a D4 to hope to get the flip, but it doesn't hold it, and now she's down off into the left side. Alex chose to just throw the orangey again and avoid, she was hoping, the left side, but instead she came over top of her disc.
And thankfully with that tree there, kicked her back out to the fairway versus being off to the left. I'm here throwing a very beat up Maverick, turned a little early, trying to just get out to that first landing zone, maybe a little short, but hopeful to get my up and down for 4.
Erica's throwing a really high speed pro katana right here to try to get as much distance as she can. She got a little bit of a flex out in it, so you might be trapped a little bit over in the corner.
But good distance overall, and one of the better drive of the group for sure.
Alex throwing one of my favorite discs, a Firebird. She's now in the middle. That's where you want your original drive to land, where she's at now, so she's back on track.
Here I am throwing a big Annie with my Tersis, just trying to get out and around that corner to have a look up at the basket.
I was wondering how understable that was.
It's pretty understable.
Cassie, she made that good drive, but it just faded out, and now she's over in the shoal.
Alex with her third shot.
I believe this is her zone. This fairway is so challenging to approach. It's a slight uphill shot, so you have a tendency to want to leave it short. Well, you don't want to leave it short. You just have a tendency to leave it short.
Right, and especially because the slide uphill just it plays so much longer than it looks, and it's no wonder that it was the third hardest hole on the day. Here I am throwing a truth, just looking to get up and down, give myself a putt.
There you go. Good judgment of the distance. Cassie's got some work cut out for herself to still get anywhere near the basket.
All right, she's up. She's got a putt.
Alex to save her par, I do believe.
Yep.
With old Rusty Perps. That's what she's decided that her putter's name is. Did she
What
call
a great
out?
name.
Did she call it out during the round in? He say, "Hey, come on in, Rusty Perps. Get in there."
I did not hear it, but I wish I had if she did say it, because that's a great name.
It is a great name. Cassie trying to save hers on the strong side.
Just a little wide.
Okay, for the birdie, Erica, you got this.
Just a little off.
Such a tough green. Such a tough green. Nice par save.
Yeah, I was happy with that. A par on this one feels good. Some of the par fours you feel like you can get birdies on, and but this one is just so much trickier than some of the other ones, and so getting a par really feels good.
It is hard. You have to land in such a precise area. Like you would want to almost walk up and lay your disc where you wanted your second shot to come from to get it in the best place. Whew! Cassie decided that she was going to flirt with bouncing out a little bit. Sometimes it lingers in your head for a while, doesn't it? You hit a perfect putt and it bounces out, and then the next couple of holes it just pops back into your head if you're not careful. Like, oh, be careful here.
Right, and that's being present, being mindful is so important on this.
Hole 13 is one of my favorite holes on this course. It's a par 3, 310 feet, a slide uphill. There's OB on the far left side, but there's so many different fairways that you can choose. You can go down the right side, you can go the direction that the drone is flying. There's many options. Looks like you're throwing your St. Pro off the tee.
I am. I'm aiming kind of at that blue basket and hoping it just fades back out to the left a little bit to give myself an upshot.
There is an opening on that side if you get up far enough.
Looks like Erica's going the turnover route and hits an early tree, kicks off to the left. She's not OB, but certainly in some rough.
Yeah, people try to cut that corners quite often too. It was sort of like on hole number, I can't remember which hole it was now, where they tried to cheat in 7. Tried to cheat. You can't do it on this one. Cassie got caught up trying to cheat a little bit early also.
And that kind of left lane where the drone was flying, it's such a high risk, high reward shot. Alex here going with a flex flick.
She played totally safe and then got the roll away.
Gosh. Hits a tree and gets just a nasty roll off into the rough. So
that kind of gives you an idea of how steep this fairway is, though.
Absolutely.
Now everybody's just looks like your drive is. You're pretty happy with your drive after seeing everybody else's.
Yes, definitely am. Glad to not have to contend with any of that junk.
Alex is dancing with trees. What a great upshot.
Beautiful flick out.
That Firebird, she loves that disc, I believe. Is he going to get up far enough for her? Nope. She's out safe, though. That's so tight in through there. Your range of motion and everything's restricted. What are you throwing here?
I'm throwing my shield. So just a glidey turnover, putter shot, gets a beautiful kiss off the tree, fortunately, and I am well within the circle for 3.
The tree gives and the tree takes away.
So true.
Erica tries to throw a turnover, leaves it a little bit short.
Cass running her par putt, and because it slopes uphill, you can kind of run the putts a little bit and know that it's going to slide up there and be safe.
See if Erica can hit this putt. There we go.
Great bogey save from Erica. Look at that again. Uphill.
Center.
Perfect putt.
She's got to feel good about that. Her putts have been a little bit off today. Alex trying to save her par. See if Rusty Perp saves the day.
Cash. Especially given she played safe off the tee, got the nasty roll, that flick up shot, that putt. Beautiful. Cassie taps in her bogey, and I'm about to tap in my par as we wrap up on hole 13.
Y'all are starting to get to some of the more, I like these holes.
Hole 14 is a par 3, 290, super straight shot, which is my favorite shot in disc golf. There's a little bit of a valley. Ideal landing zone is just on the edge of that hillside. Clearing the valley if you got the power. Slopey green. Just a great New England woodsy shot. I'm throwing my St. Pro here with a little bit of turn so it stays straight. And
you have to be happy with that shot.
I am so happy with that shot. First round I released it a little bit early, was a little bit further back on the fairway, so I was happy to get up as far as I did for an easy up and down.
Alex is throwing her Star Leopard 3.
Hyzer flip, turns over,
and keeps going through the woods because that's what a Star Leopard 3 does. Erica's, I think this is another destroyer, but I'm not sure.
Oh, that was such a beautiful pull, just an unlucky tree kick. Still in the fairway, still has an opportunity to save par.
Cassie's throwing a D2, trying to get some turnover with it.
And she's down there in the valley, hopefully with an angle to get up and down.
Oh, did you see Erica's back foot slip a little bit on that?
A little bit, yeah.
I wonder if that's going to, yep, it affected it just a little bit. Cassie down. Now, one of the things that can happen on this hole is you hit the basket and you're back down there where you're standing at if you're not careful because of the rollaway. Was that in your mind at all, or did you just lay this one up?
Definitely laid up. I was playing into the hillside knowing that because it's a slopey hill, throw it up there, and if it goes a little far, it'll still be fine for the 3 save.
Alex trying to get the birdie.
Great bid.
You got a little bit of a death putt left.
Yes. I was just thinking the same thing.
See if Erica can recover from that slip on her previous shot. Sit down, disc.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, metal hits on slopey greens are scary. But Alex is not scared of that downhill deathy putt. She converts, gets the par.
I think we can safely say that Alex has won this tournament and that Erica and Cassie are playing for second place. And you don't know it, but Michelle is coming up on the chase card and is trying to catch you for 4th place.
Yes, I was checking scores at this point, so I didn't know that, but it's still scary.
Hole 15 is a par 3. The basket is actually in a different state, rumor has it. It is in the state of New Hampshire, and you are teeing off from the state of Massachusetts. You're throwing through a tightly wooded fairway with a slight bend to the left. There are so many trees, and if you end up down in that valley, you are in trouble if you're not careful.
Absolutely.
Kind of like that valley there that I'm talking about.
Yeah, I threw my Saint on that one, hit a tree. I'm actually just before the valley, so I was happy to not be in it.
Alex has decided that she liked the tree that you hit and was going to hit it even harder. Let's see if Cassie can avoid it. She's throwing her D2.
Yeah, show us how it's done, Cass. She does avoid it. She skips up.
That's an okay shot. If you're down in there, she'll have to navigate some of the sloping trees, but she's okay. Erica is throwing a Star Leopard here.
Hit the gap we were all trying to hit, but gets a late tree kick, kicks down into that ravine. I mean, this fairway is just so tight, it's no wonder it's the second hardest hole.
Most people try to play up high right on this one. Look at that upshot.
Gosh, that was beautiful. I'm throwing my Worship here, which actually has a classic stamp on it from a few years ago. It's one of my favorite discs. I nestled right up in there.
Erica had a tough life. There's another tree hiding back there that she caught.
Great hyzer upshot from Cass. Gets her well within the circle for her par putt.
Erica has another long putt. She's been struggling with these. Let's see if this one goes in.
Unfortunate basket hit, but a lucky sit. Again, these greens are so slopey, it can be easy to get a good roll away.
So I see you went to the straddle putt here. Is that your go-to from that distance now?
Not necessarily for me. I tend to go straddle if I feel like the basket's a little downhill.
Okay.
So for whatever reason from that angle, I must have felt like the basket was sloped a little bit down and decided to go with that stance. Erica tapping in for bogey.
Tough little hole. Second most difficult. Shocking that it's shocking how hard it is when you can sit there and see the basket from the tee box.
Right.
But you have to look through 1,000 trees.
Hole 16, par 4, 540-foot hole. Super straight. Lots of trees, lots of brush, narrow fairways. Landing zone on this one is so important. There's a little bit of a valley in there as well. Tree protected at the upshot, or basket protected by trees at the upshot, excuse me, and just a lot to contend with.
So are you trying to go for maximum distance here, or are you looking for just placement?
Total placement shot. I'm looking to get up kind of by that basket that the drone flew over. By basket, I mean tee pad, sorry about that. Throwing a mid-range, just getting up there to really put the drive into my second shot.
I think Alex is kind of doing the same thing that you are. That was her leopard 3. I believe she wanted to get a little bit more distance, but certainly wanted to just stay in the middle of the fairway.
Yeah.
If you get off the fairway on this drive, you're done for.
Yeah, it's hard to save the 4 when you get off the fairway that early.
Cassie turning over her D2.
Fortunate tree kick. If that had kept going, she would have been in the fairway for 14, which runs just parallel to this one.
Erica's throwing her Archon. Nice low drive.
Ooh, flex back. Great shot.
Right in the middle.
That is a picture perfect drive on this hole, and it is not as easy as she made that look.
On this shot here, people have a tendency to turn their throw over too much and end up on the right side, just like that.
Getting second fortunate tree kick for Cass, leaving her in the middle.
You pinched yourself off a little bit, it looks like. Are you now just trying to lay up again to get in the middle?
Yeah, throwing a hyzer with a fairway driver, just getting out again. Hyzered back a little too much, still on the edge, but not making it easy for myself.
See what Erica can capitalize on that beautiful drive.
Ooh, big flare skip.
Looks like she got pinned high though, but she is way trapped right now, it looks like.
Alex going with a forehand Annie.
She said, "Hey Erica, I'm gonna come visit you over there."
Those pines are so thick over there, and it's so hard to punch out of them.
Cassie having to throw with 1 foot above the other. Whenever your lead foot's higher, it makes it for a challenging shot. It's hard to get distance when your plant foot's higher.
And despite those tree kicks and difficult stance, she's got herself a circle's edge putt for par. Here I am.
You made sure you got it there, lady.
I got up there. I threw a verdict, which is more overstable mid.
Goodness gracious.
Outer third of the circle.
Whew, bless their heart on that throw. Somewhere in there, folks, there's humans throwing frisbees. Get in there, disc.
That was a great run. It sat. Gives her an easy par look.
See if Alex can
Convert. Let's go, Alex. Oh, those pines just make it so tough. That was such a good bid.
Now y'all got a little bit of work left to do. Not for Cassie, though.
Oh, let's see that again. Circle's edge. Flat, dead center. Fantastic putt.
It's amazing how you all of a sudden find a little bit of energy to run once you hit a really good disc. You could be dragging and hardly moving whatsoever, and next thing you know, you're sprinting because you hit a 30 or 40 footer.
So true.
Look at you. Are you going to sprint now?
I am. Get the little jog in.
It's amazing.
Get that energy back.
You get those big putts, and all of a sudden, the legs start running. Look at that concentration.
I love the putt faces that people make.
She's like, whew, thank goodness.
Just tapping the basket for catching as she walks off with her bogey. Erica carding an easy par, given that initial drive she had off the tee.
Hole 17, the easiest hole on the course. It was also our CTP hole. We, for this hole here, I feel like there's 3 different fairways you can take. There's the one to the left, there's the one that the drone is flying, and then there's also one off to the right. And the basket's slightly elevated, and there's a little bit of a drop off behind it, but it's only a 227-foot hole.
Kelly, is there a tree down on this one, on this hole? I feel like that middle lane never used to be there. And that was something I noticed when I walked up, but I wasn't sure if I was misremembering it or not. Either way, I didn't hit the fairway well, despite having an open look at the basket.
I'm thinking this fairway, there used to be a log pile in front of the basket
Maybe that's
a
what
while
I'm
back.
thinking of.
Cassie took that right side and decided to be underneath the basket.
Great drive.
Erica with her rock 3
Uh,
went the middle fairway. Y'all have thrown every single
Cured.
fairway on this hole. The left fairway, the right fairway, and the center fairway.
And Erica is nestled in that
I'm guessing
pile right under the basket,
that's CTP, I'm guessing.
looking at CTP right now.
She took it from me, which was taken, then Michelle took it from me, then Erica took it from Michelle. That was a good drive right there.
Right. All my cards made showing how it's done, how to get under the basket on the easiest hole.
You're like, I want nothing to do with this.
Yeah, there's just too many trees, elevated, sloped back. I was proud of how I was playing, and I was like, rather than risk the birdie, take the par and move on.
Alex continuing her putting streak. Nice little drop-ins right there. When you get this late in a round in a tournament, you want putts like that. Like, you want every putt to be where Erica's is at for a birdie.
It's amazing, and the least you have to putt in a round, the better. That's for sure. We are now on our last hole, hole 18, par 4, 528-foot hole. Lots of different options here. There's a righty backhand hyzer lane. There's a straight shot, hyzering out. You got this kind of little tree valley to contend with a couple openings in there. Placement is key on this hole.
Everybody giving elbow high fives because we're still kind of in the middle of a pandemic a little bit. I want to thank 978 Disc Golf. I see their sign right over there again for all of this. Y'all put on a fantastic sponsored tournament and Granite State Tour.
And Cass going with the high righty backhand hyzer,
That was her X3.
finishing left, getting herself in position for a good upshot.
Erica's probably pulling out a destroyer once again. Get around it.
That one dead tree in the middle. How it's still standing, I don't know. You can see how often it's been hit with a disc, but it's such a good obstacle to contend with on this finishing hole.
Wouldn't it be amazing if Alex hit that with her PD2 and that dead stump just fell over? Just like her disc was so powerful, it just like timber.
I mean, she's got the power to do it, that's for sure. And that drive shows it.
That was a fantastic drive right there. Last drive of the day. You must be just loving it, how well you've played this round.
I'm super proud with how I'm playing. still in it, wanting to finish out strong. Go with that trespass to finish out to the left to give myself an upshot through that wall of trees.
Erica basically is having to throw another drive just to get up into the fairway to penetrate through the next wall of trees.
She did a little course maintenance, knocking down a tree branch with her power, and she's in a good spot to get up and down.
I see the fairway you're going to try to hit. It's just there calling for you. Oh, an air bounce shoved you down, didn't it? A little bit.
Turned it over a little bit.
But you're in there fine. You're easy up from there.
Yeah, I'm not mad about where it landed.
Cassie's got a little bit of work. Is she going to come around wide?
Oh,
those trees.
Dang trees. And she ends up right next to me in the same fairway with a good window up and down for the basket.
Alex with the flat top Firebird on her approach. Well, actually, it's a Champion Firebird. Sorry, it's not a flat top. That's what I throw. Maybe I need to throw a Champion Firebird after I see that.
And so interesting, that area of ground that Alex hit, there's not a lot of grass there, but it does not favor a skip for whatever reason and just gobbles up her disc, still leaving her with the birdie look.
Wait, Erica's throwing her P1X right there. Leaving it a little bit short also. It's just it's so difficult to judge that distance because there's a slope on the backside. There's that big evergreen right there. And people have a tendency to come up short on this one. It's just part of it. Let's see if you adjust and get past the basket.
Yeah, I went with my glidey putter, hoping to get a little bit more out of it.
There you go.
Yeah, a little short, but I will take it.
Yeah, you don't want to have to finish with a super long putt.
Definitely not.
That's like, what, only the second putt she missed the entire tournament?
Probably.
And she's still going to win easily. Nose up putt from Erica. Got a little bit of lift.
There you go, Cass, to finish out her tournament, secure herself second place. Nailed it. Great tournament, Cass.
Well done, Kim. Well done.
Tapping in my par putt, staving off Michelle from the chase card. She and I end in a tie for fourth. Erica taps in her bogey to secure third place. And Alex right now tapping in her final putt of the tournament for her par to secure first place, finishing at -3 on the day.
She played so well. That's a good way to start your traveling tour also. She's out in Michigan right now, I think at the Great Lakes Open. So there's the final, folks. I ended up 6th. Alex came in 1st. Cassie 2nd. Look at you tying with Michelle. Such a good tournament. Such a good day. Get out there and throw disc golf, everybody. Get out there and play. Have fun. And thank you, New England Disc Golf Productions.
Thank you to Disc Golf 978. Thank you to our TDs, of course, volunteers, everyone involved in this event. It's truly one of the best ones in New England.
Mark and Dan did an excellent job on the camera. Kim, I enjoyed being on the mic with you. This was a lot of fun. We've never done this before, and hopefully we'll get to do it again.
Yes. Had a great day. Thanks, everyone, for watching, and have a good one. Go throw some discs.
See y'all later. Bye.